In a small, impoverished village nestled on the outskirts of Newey Town in Anambra State, lived a young man named Daniel. Born to parents who toiled endlessly just to make ends meet, Daniel's life had been a continuous struggle. His father worked as a bricklayer, his hands thick and worn from years of hard labor. His mother sold roasted corn by the roadside, her face etched with lines of worry and fatigue. Despite their hardships, they instilled in Daniel the values of honesty, hard work, and resilience. Daniel was a bright student who excelled in his secondary school, dreaming of a better future that education could provide. He had received admission into the prestigious University of Lagos, a beacon of hope that seemed just within reach, yet painfully distant due to their financial constraints. The amount of money spent in first year alone was 10 times what his parents were making. Every evening, as he watched the sun dip below the horizon, his heart ached with the desire to leave his village, to explore the world beyond, and to lift his family out of poverty. One fateful morning, while helping his mother at her roadside stall, Daniel's eyes caught a rumpled piece of paper fluttering against the pavement. He picked it up, smoothing out the wrinkles, and read the bold heading, "Job opportunity in Lagos, security personnel needed." His heart raced as he continued to read the details. He saw the pay was 500,000 naira and leaped for joy. It seemed like the answer to his prayers. He could work and save enough money to pay his tuition fees. Without hesitation, Daniel borrowed his neighbor's phone and dialed the number on the flyer. The voice on the other end was gruff but polite. "Yes, the position is still available. If you're interested, come to Lagos tomorrow. We can discuss the details." Excitement coursed through Daniel's veins. This was his chance. But Lagos was miles away, and the journey required money he didn't have. After pleading with his parents, who reluctantly gave him their last savings, Daniel set off on his journey, hope burning bright in his chest. His parents prayed for him and wished him well. Upon reaching Lagos, Daniel was overwhelmed by the bustling city. The towering buildings, the noise, and the fast-paced lifestyle were a stark contrast to his quiet village. He navigated his way to the address given to him over the phone. It was a modest office located in a busy neighborhood. A man in his late 30s, who introduced himself as Colonel, greeted Daniel. He was well-dressed, charismatic, and spoke with the confidence of someone who knew his way around the city. Colonel explained the job. Daniel was to be the security guard for a wealthy family in an upscale estate. "It's a simple job," Colonel assured him. "You just have to keep an eye on things and ensure the family's safety. You'll even get accommodation." The offer seemed too good to be true, but Daniel was desperate. He accepted it without hesitation. Colonel smiled approvingly and took Daniel to the estate to meet the head of security. The estate was grand, surrounded by high walls and guarded gates. The lush gardens and luxurious mansions were unlike anything Daniel had ever seen. The head of security, a stern man named Chief Osini, assessed Daniel with a scrutinizing gaze before agreeing to hire him. "You look trustworthy," Chief Osini remarked, "and that's what matters the most." Daniel was assigned to guard the home of Mr. and Mrs. Adeyemi, a wealthy couple with 3 young children. The family was warm and welcoming. Mrs. Adeyemi would often offer him food and check on his well-being. The children were playful, frequently running around the compound while Daniel watched over them protectively. Days turned into weeks and Daniel grew accustomed to his routine. Aside from watching the gate, he was to sweep the compound, wash the cars and water the plants. That seemed too small for 500,000, he always wondered. Yet, he still did the work with joy. Cunnel, the man who had offered him the job, visited the house often. He had now become Daniel's good friend. He would ask about his health, his welfare, peculiar questions about the family's schedule, how he does his security arrangements and coping with all of these stress. Sometimes Cunnel might assist him with some work he's yet to do. Just making sure you're doing your job well, Cunnel would say with a casual smile and leave. The visits became more frequent, and the family did not like it. They warned him about letting someone into their compound. He can attend to his friends outside. Daniel got so used to the job that his master always rewarded him with little cash anytime he drove in and out of the compound. It even got to a point that they started bringing him into the main house to eat, assist with some chores, and watch television channel of his choice. He always watched football during the weekends, sometimes forgetting his job at the gate. 53 days into his employment, Daniel's life took a drastic turn. It was a quiet night when the attack happened. 5 masked men who packed a Hilux at the gate broke into the house. They were swift and organized, moving with precision as they ransacked the living room, taking jewelry, cash, and expensive electronics. Daniel woke up from his sleep and tried to fight them off, but they overpowered him, knocking him unconscious. The family were scared of their guns and begged them to carry anything they want and leave without killing them. When Daniel woke up, the police were already there, questioning the shaken Adeyemi family. To his horror, the evidence pointed at him. The security footage showed him unlocking the gate shortly before the robbery, and the robbers seemed to know the house's layout too well. The most damning evidence was the discovery of some stolen items hidden under his bed, planted by someone who knew the house and his routine. Daniel was taken back as he didn't know how all these things had happened. He immediately contacted Cunnel to ask him for help. He called Cunnel but no response. 10 minutes after, the police were ready to take him to the station. The police asked for the keys to the gate so he can't pull of any other robbery attempt. Daniel gave the policemen the keys and then realized that the extra keys were all gone. He then knew finally that it was Cunnel that was behind all these. He regretted so bad and told police, but they turned deaf ears. The police and the family believed that he assisted the robbers. After all, the master of the house had always warned him about bringing his friends into the compound. Daniel was arrested and charged with conspiracy and robbery. In court, he tried to explain his innocence, but his story sounded implausible. He had no lawyer, no money, and no way to prove that Cunnel had set him up. The judge handed down the sentence, 10 years in prison, as Daniel was led away in handcuffs. He caught a glimpse of Cunnel standing in the back of the courtroom, a smug smile playing on his lips. It was then that Daniel realized he had been nothing more than a pawn in a well-orchestrated plan. Cunnel walked out of the courthouse, free and untouched, while Daniel faced the bleak future of a prison cell, his dreams shattered, and his innocence stolen. Daniel's parents knew nothing of what had happened, but even behind bars, Daniel held on to hope. One day, he vowed, the truth would come to light, and justice would be served.